The path of wisdom is not found in the abundance of wealth, nor in the pride of position, but in the quiet strength of understanding and the temperance of speech. Better is the one who walks with integrity and lacks riches than the one who prospers through deception and brings ruin upon his house. The fool revels in his own words, believing himself to be wise, but the discerning listens before he speaks and weighs his thoughts with care. Like a flame devours dry leaves, so does pride consume the heart of the reckless. And like the wind scatters the chaff, so does dishonesty disperse the trust of the righteous. He who pursues selfish gain with deceit lays a foundation of sand, and when the storm comes, his house will crumble. But the one who builds upon truth and labors with honesty will stand firm when the floods rise, for justice is the bedrock of the wise. A ruler who delights in falsehood sets a snare for his own feet, and a leader who perverts justice invites destruction upon his land. The whispers of the wicked may promise prosperity, but their path leads only to desolation. Those who conspire in secret to harm the innocent will be ensnared by their own schemes, for the snare they set for others will trap them instead. The one who sows discord among brothers kindles a fire he cannot control, and soon the flames will consume even his own dwelling. But the peacemaker who seeks reconciliation over vengeance is like cool water in a parched land, bringing refreshment to the weary and restoring what was broken. The tongue of the deceitful drips with honey, but its end is bitter as gall. The mouth of the honest may speak hard truths, but its fruit brings life and understanding. A friend who stands firm in adversity is worth more than gold, but a companion who turns away in hardship is like a broken reed, offering no support when most needed. He who seeks wisdom as one searches for hidden treasure will find riches greater than any storehouse of silver, but the fool, though he holds wealth in his hands, will squander it in pursuit of vanity. The one who delights in mockery will himself become a jest among men, and the one who scorns correction will stumble until he is brought low. He who is quick to anger is like an untamed horse rushing toward ruin, but the one who is slow to wrath walks in strength, for patience is the shield of the wise. To give a bribe in secret may secure a fleeting victory, but justice is not bought with silver, and the one who distorts what is right will be repaid in full. The wicked may sit upon thrones for a time, but their rule is like a candle in the wind, flickering before it is snuffed out. Those who oppress the poor mock the one who made them, and those who withhold justice will themselves cry out and find no answer. A ruler who listens to lies will be surrounded by corrupt counselors, and a leader who despises truth will lead his people into ruin. But the one who governs with fairness and seeks the welfare of the people will establish a legacy that endures. A fool delights in his own folly and refuses correction, but the wise man values rebuke more than the fool values praise. A single word of wisdom is more precious to the discerning than 1,000 flattering speeches to the arrogant. Better is a house filled with love and little bread than a mansion overflowing with feasts and strife. He who stirs up conflict for his own amusement is like one who releases a floodgate. Once the waters rush forth, they cannot be contained. But the one who turns away from anger and seeks peace is like a fortress built upon a rock, unshaken by the storms of life. The wicked lay traps for the innocent, but they will fall into their own pit. The one who repays evil with evil ensures that turmoil will never leave his house, but the one who returns good for evil will heap coals of shame upon the head of his adversary. A quarrelsome man is like a constant dripping on a rainy day. His presence brings weariness to those around him. The one who guards his tongue preserves his soul, but the one who speaks recklessly invites his own destruction. A ruler who judges with fairness is like the morning sun rising over the land, bringing light and warmth to his people. But the ruler who is unjust is like a storm that devastates the harvest, leaving only ruin in its wake. Children who walk in righteousness bring honor to their parents, but the one who scorns wisdom is a grief to his father and a sorrow to his mother. The aged who have walked in integrity wear their years as a crown, for their wisdom is a beacon to those who follow. A false witness spreads lies like wildfire, but the one who speaks truth establishes justice. A deceitful man may prosper for a moment, but his downfall is certain, for the lamp of the wicked will be extinguished. He who lends his ear to wisdom will be lifted up, but the one who despises instruction will be left wandering in darkness. The lazy man makes excuses, saying, "There is a lion in the street," but the diligent rises early and secures his provision. The sluggard turns on his bed like a door on its hinges, while the industrious builds his house with steady hands. He who delights in pleasure but neglects his duties will find himself in poverty, but the one who works with discipline will be satisfied. A wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, but the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. The diligent hand will rule, but the idle will be put to forced labor. The one who walks in humility will be exalted, but the one who exalts himself will be brought low. The arrogant build towers to the heavens, but they will crumble into dust, while the meek plant seeds that grow into mighty trees. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The one who controls his spirit is greater than the one who conquers a city, for true strength is found in self-mastery. A man's heart may plan his way, but the Lord directs his steps. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, for the wise prevent battles before they begin, but the fool rushes into conflict and brings ruin. The one who loves knowledge seeks understanding, but the one who despises wisdom will inherit folly. Justice and truth are the foundation of a strong nation, but deceit and corruption bring its downfall. A king's favor is like rain upon a thirsty field, but his wrath is like a storm that uproots the land. The one who is faithful in little will be entrusted with much, but the one who is dishonest in small things will be unfaithful in great matters. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and those who walk in reverence will find peace. The proud will be brought low, but the humble will be lifted up. The fool builds his house upon the sand, but the wise man upon the rock. He who sows righteousness will reap a harvest of joy, but the one who delights in evil will inherit trouble. The one who trusts in riches will fall, but the righteous will flourish like a tree planted by the water. The world may pass away, but the truth remains forever.